What's up, guys? It's Gardy B with the Jenkins and Jonez show. As always, I'm here with my good internet buddies, Dragonfly Jones, a.k.a. Tyler.
What's up, guys?
Jethro Jenkins, a.k.a. John.
What's up, bubbas? And if you fuck with us, you want to see more of our content, please jump on YouTube and subscribe to our channel.
Before we start the pod, we got to hear from Jimmy from LinkedIn. As you gear up for fall, you need the right people on your team to help your small business fire on all cylinders. LinkedIn Jobs is here to make it easier to find the people you want to talk to faster and for free. My personal hiring stories and experiences that can relate back to LinkedIn Jobs are many and varied. What an incredible service LinkedIn Jobs has been to help me at my small business and filling jobs that we are trying to fill. You can create a free job post in minutes on LinkedIn Jobs to reach your network and beyond to the world's largest professional network of over 810 million people. Then add your job in the purple hashtag hiring frame to your LinkedIn profile to spread the word that you're hiring so your network can help you find the right people to hire. Simple tools like screening questions make it easy to focus on candidates with just the right skills and experience so you can quickly prioritize who you'd like to interview and hire. That's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering quality hires versus leading competitors. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the candidates you want to talk to faster. Did you know every week nearly 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn? Post your job for free at linkedin.com/JandJ. That's linkedin.com/JANDJ to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Gentlemen, let's talk about Draymond Green. This entire thing happened since the last time we recorded. The video dropped. There was a reaction to the video. There was the reporting by our good friend Marcus Thompson about the reaction to the video being leaked. There was Draymond's apology, press conference. And let's just start with the video. Obviously hit the internet. 10 seconds is it's a pretty insane 10 seconds. What was your guys' first thought watching the video?
Draymond went too fucking far. Like, it's that simple. And I want to be clear. You know, this is not a violence is not the answer podcast. You know, all three of us firmly believe that violence is often the answer in certain situations, right? And I'm a firm believer too that sometimes there ain't shit that can, if some homies got some static, there's nothing that besides a squabble that can, iron some shit out.
Fight it out, baby.
Yeah, right. I got a funny ass story about my homies fighting too. I'll tell y'all after this, but I'll share with the class later. But this shit was bro. It was too fucking far. Like, and everyone who's defending Draymond is like, well, he pushed him. What should he expect? Bro, first of all, Draymond walked up on that man. He initiated all of this, right? And second of all, it's a different dynamic with teammates rather than like a stranger at the bar. Like if a stranger gets in your shit at the bar, you push him. Of course, you should be prepared for a tussle. It's a different dynamic with basketball, bro. Shit talking followed by a little shove. That is routine shit in basketball that we rarely see return with punches. And that shit was just not normal. That was not a normal reaction, not in the realm of basketball.
Bro, like, if you in a bar, you got to make sure you get home, right? You know what I'm saying? There's safety there. So if somebody push you, you swing on them because you trying to make sure you get to the crib. I ain't got no time. I don't know who the fuck you are. You a stranger. I'm going to knock your ass out and take my ass to the crib. I ain't got no time for the fuck shit. Bro, Jordan Poole is 70 pounds lighter than this motherfucker, and he knows he ain't about that shit for real, bro. Jordan Poole pushed him because a man got in his face. Jordan didn't want none of that shit. It was completely unnecessary to hit him like that. And then also Jordan Poole was looking away, hands by his waist, and he steals off on him. That's fuck shit in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't even square off with the man. You feel what I'm saying? Like, bro, he was pushing to get space. Like, right. Bro, you in my face. He made him push him. You feel what I'm saying? So, dog, there's just no excuse for it. There's just no excuse for it, dog. And like you said, sometimes you got to punch a motherfucker. That wasn't the situation, too. And in a video prior, he was talking about how Jordan Poole talks shit and how he likes that shit. You know what I mean?
How he knew, so when that's how he knew he was made for the league.
Right. Made for the league. So now when it's the other way around, you want to punch a motherfucker in the face, that makes me think there's something else. You know what I mean? It can't just be about that situation because that don't make no damn sense to me.
There'd been some reporting that there was like shit talk and then Jordan Poole pushed Draymond and then Draymond punched Jordan Poole. That made me envision the events happening a certain kind of a way. And the video played out a very different way because when you hear there was shit talk and then Jordan Poole pushed Draymond, you assume that Jordan Poole is the one who's sort of initiating it, right? That he's moving towards Draymond. When you watch the video, you can almost see the moment when Draymond decides, all right. And because the way he walks him down is forcing him to push him, because if he doesn't, he's going to be pinned against the fucking wall in about 2 seconds. So he pushes him like, all right, man, that's fucking enough. Like, quit playing. And then, like you say, looks away like, all right, like, well, I'm not trying to get into any shit with Draymond. I'm just trying to talk shit in practice or whatever. And then look, there's been a lot of argument on Twitter about what constitutes a sucker punch or not, bro. You punch a man who's not looking at you, to me, sorry, that's a fucking sucker punch. And especially when you know you have heavy fucking mitts like Draymond does. You leave your back foot like Mookie Betts swinging for the fucking fences with perfect form. And he knew in the moment he hit him too hard, because he also caught him before he could fall down and hit his head on the wall. Because that could have been some ugly shit, dog. And look, I don't want to, I mean, like you said, we are not an anti-violence podcast, but you sock someone in their face as hard as that you can when they're not paying attention. Unintended shit comes of that. Right.
And that's where we needed Judd Apatow with the he could have killed him comment, right? Like that would have been applicable there. Also, someone said that Draymond knocked homie out and then grabbed him before he hit the ground, like he was an action movie star taking out a tower of bad guys, which was funny as fuck. But yeah, man, that was some real dangerous shit, man. That was not a routine basketball scuffle, bro.
And people want to talk about, these is grown men and all that shit. Well, when another grown man tried his ass in Delilah, where was that at? You feel me? You know what I'm saying? If you got heavy mitts, why don't you use them on another heavy nigga? You feel what I'm saying? Like, bro, that's some bully shit. You feel me? So, hey, I want, like, I don't really fuck with that. I don't really fuck with a motherfucker that's your size fucking with you, and then you punch a motherfucker that's 70 pounds lighter than you on some like that ain't it, bro. That ain't it, dog.
I think the other thing that it sucked for everyone involved, obviously, that the video got out, but it was like simultaneous to this reaction of like, damn, I'm really bummed out, because I like Draymond a lot. I was bummed out by the video just as someone who's a fan of his and the way he moves like on and off the court. It also sucks for Jordan Poole, who that's just a shitty day on Twitter, bro. Someone tweeted something about, you got knocked out in front of the bitches, like,
bro.
In front
the
of the
baddies were watching.
It sucks, bro.
I had women hitting me up that ain't never talked about basketball ever. Ain't said shit talking about Jordan Poole. I'm like, damn, he really got knocked out in front of the baddies. Everybody's seen this damn video.
People
who
weren't on Twitter saw that video within 30 minutes of it going up. That's when you know shit is
Facebook
like
had the video.
Level.
Holy shit, Meta. The Meta users were speaking about it.
Of Facebook, man, it's over for you, dog.
It's over with, dog.
But yeah, I'm just interested at where they go from with Draymond, because there's gonna come a point. I mean, you can say we're there now, where Draymond's production does not match, what they're paying him. But Draymond is in a unique situation where he's very well aware. Everyone in the league is very well aware that his worth is his value is maximized in Golden State, where it will not be with any other team, right? So he's got that working for him. But look, if the Warriors want it out, if they want to get from under that, you can flat out trade that man. You won't lose him in the offseason for nothing. So I'm sure that's probably being a discussion that's being had right now. And also for Draymond, from a career perspective, like, I think we all envisioned Draymond being the old head who was going to be the mentor to the young guys when he's not the productive guy on the court. Mm-hmm. Where does he go with that from now? Like, this is a major black eye on his resume in regards to that next step that he wanted to take. But I don't know, maybe he'll bounce back from this. Maybe he'll work through it. But like I said, this is a real big black eye on that resume in regards to that next step he was going to take.
I mean, and then we're looking at the future of the Warriors. Jordan Poole is the future of the Warriors. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's the future. You know what I mean?
And I don't about to get 150 of them things. Easy.
You know what I'm saying? And if I'm Jordan Poole, I'm never gonna fuck with or respect the motherfucker that did me like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if it comes to who needs to be, if I'm asked a question of do I want this man on the come on, bro. If it's me or him, it's Jordan Poole. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's Jordan Poole or Draymond, it's Jordan Poole, G. So, like, for sure I can see them conversations being had, because, Draymond he's a Hall of Famer, the Defensive Player of the Year, multiple time All-Star, all of that. He ain't that right now. You know what I mean? If you're looking for the future, we appreciate you, but Jordan Poole is that. So I could definitely see them conversations being had. And if I'm Jordan Poole, I want them conversations to be had because I'll never fuck with that dude again. Ain't no damn way if I'm Jordan Poole.
Let's talk about the leak itself before we get to Draymond's apology, and then I really want to talk about Marcus Thompson's piece and Steph Curry's comments in that piece. The video leaked. It got to TMZ. TMZ is who pays money for that stuff, obviously, and they pay a lot of money. There were a lot of conspiracy theories flying around the day that it dropped, like, the Warriors had done this intentionally, whatever else. Like, I just want to say the math is easy as fuck, especially if you know people who work in pro sports at the bottom tier level. Those are minimum wage jobs. Someone who's making under $50,000 a year had access to that video. And I guarantee TMZ is offering that person at least a year's salary to leak the fucking video. So a lot of these people don't give a fuck about basketball. Again, like a ton of my friends from high school were ushers at Staples Center and shit afterward. Like, a lot of them didn't give a fuck about Shaq and Kobe. It's just like, it's easy work to do. You can set your own schedule. You could do it as a side hustle when you're working another job or you're going to college, whatever. And someone has access to that video room that put this shit out there. This is not fucking Steve Kerr or Bob Myers, like trying to undercut Draymond. This is just, in my opinion, simple. $50,000, $100,000, $200,000, whatever. So I saw one report said that TMZ for videos that get this many plays is paid up to $1 million for footage like this. Like, this is a simple transaction. And quite frankly, is something that pro sports teams are going to have to figure out with the way they fucking treat lower level employees if they don't want there to be leaks like this shit. Because I would have leaked the fuck out of that video. No I'm making $40,000 a year trying to live in the Bay Area right now, bro. That math is easy as fuck.
I love basketball, and that motherfucker would have been in their hands before the night was up. You fucking kidding me? Dog, I can watch that shit on TV. I ain't got to be in a damn arena for the type of money they talking about. Come on, man. It's like you said, it's easy, man.
I will say this, though. I don't believe that the Warriors leaked it, but I will say the one thing that works to your credit if you're a Warriors leak the conspiracy theorist is there's no sound on it. Right, because if there's reports saying that Jordan Poole said, what it is in regards to I'm going to get extended and get that bag and take some money from you, like that was the implication there. So like if the Warriors did leak that and they took the audio out, because that makes that situation messy for the Warriors, all that contract shit talking. But this just makes Draymond look bad. But I don't believe the Warriors did it. But like I said, if you want it to be a Warriors leak the conspiracy theory, I think that is like what you hang your hat on.
I think it's more likely someone's in a video closet playing it muted, filming it with their phone. But yes, for sure. Obviously, because that exchange, depending on how down the rabbit hole of fucking, masculinity politics you are, that the words exchanged prior obviously were important.
Also, if you know what it is, like, still doesn't result that, dude, get your game up, G. Get in the lab, my nigga. Like, you feel me? Like, bro, you know what it is. That's some other shit.
Let me flip the order here, actually, because I think that perfectly plays into Marcus Thompson's excellent story for The Athletic. If you haven't read it, specifically talking about, and shout out to Marcus, been on the show. We all love him. He's literally Tyler's dog. Like that's the homie for real. Yeah,
for real,
dog.
But you know what? The screenshot of this that was really going around was also, I agree, the part of the article that was most impactful was talking about like the concept of the big homie. And you said it, that's what Draymond was headed towards, right? You're going to be Draymond Green, ferocious defender, rebounder, scorer, transition into being the big homie, transition into being Charles Barkley Jr., right? Like that's the 50-year plan for Draymond. And when you sock the shit out of an up-and-comer, not because he was stepping to Steph or something, but because he was taking money out of your pocket, that's not big homie fucking behavior, bro.
At all.
That's devious, honestly. You know what I mean? Like, that's the opposite of being the protector or being the guy who's like the mentor figure. So that was like, I thought Marcus hit it on the head, and obviously he has some quotes from Steph that were, honestly surprising to me. But what did you guys think of the piece and sort of the behind the scenes view that he gave?
It was a phenomenal piece. Like I tweeted out that there's no one whose opinion on this I'd rather read than Marcus, right? Because Marcus is I think this whole situation, besides Marcus, it showed the value of beat reporters, right? Like the Golden State has some of the best beat reporters in the league, and they've all been doing a great job, Marcus especially. But yeah, it was a really good piece that, of course, explored the dynamics of, like I mentioned, of what they were expecting from Draymond moving forward, as he kind of enters, the latter years of his career as being the big homie, being the OG. And now, that reputation is like in the balance now. But there was a quote from Steph that really stuck out to me when Steph said, I want to be clear, JP didn't do anything that warranted this. And that quote might sound benign in a vacuum, but Steph is a really guarded dude who does not let us in family business. You know what I'm saying? Like, he gave us the cliche, yeah, this is what happens, tempers flare, we'll get through this, we're a family. He gave us all that cliche shit. But for him to flat out say Draymond was wrong, we don't, like I said, he's a guarded dude who doesn't let us in like that. I thought that was a very fucking big quote from Steph.
He doesn't take sides, and he clearly took a side here with this. You know what I'm saying? So that quote was big. But yeah, man, I mean, the piece was great. You know what I mean? And the behind the scenes of it, and reading about like the big homie shit. Because that big homie, like, bro, you could be the big homie till you're fucking 40, dog. So you might not get that bag up front, but you can be that big homie in the bench. We saw that with
Udonis played basketball in 7 years,
bro. That nigga ain't, bro. He don't do shit during the off season. He probably on the boat chilling. You know what I mean? But he the big homie. He's respected and he's loved. You know what I'm saying? And that was where Draymond was heading. But when you knocking out a 24-year-old 70 pounds lighter than you, dog, like, bro, you know what I'm saying? That's not big homie behavior at all. So, hey, man, we'll see what happens. But I love the piece. I love the piece.
I also think that that transition from being up-and-comer, ferocious competitor to being a mentor, that actually is a real-life parallel to sports that I think a lot of people experience. And I've gone through that in my career. I make, 1 millionth what NBA players make, but I also think that kind of makes it more realistic because someone taking money out of my pocket is a little different than someone taking money out of a multimillionaire's pocket. And like when I was an up-and-coming sports writer in Long Beach, I was like annoyingly competitive. Like, I'm on kill mode. I want to cover everything. I'm going to work 80 hours a week. No one's breaking a story over me, all this other shit. I'm almost
no one's working harder than Mike Gardabasio.
Like posting on Facebook, right? Just finishing work 2:30 in the morning. Like these old ass fucking sports writers went to bed 4 hours ago.
I'm dead, you clown.
So I'm almost 40 now, and it took me a couple years in my mid-30s to realize if I'm treating 23-year-olds the way that I treated 50-year-olds when I was 23, I'm a fucking prick. Because my job, when someone comes up to me and tells me, man, I've been reading your stuff since I was a kid, my dad, like whatever, it's my job to be a mentor to that person. It's my job to open a door for that. But it's not my job to kill everyone younger than me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's not, like, that's for Vikings or Game of Thrones or some shit. That's not for being a professional who's a good person in the way that I think Draymond is and considers himself to be. You know what I mean? And there just has to be that switch. And I think that's the thing that makes this potentially being at root about jealousy so much darker. You know what I mean? That was kind of my takeaway from it.
Yes, for sure.
And also, jealousy, like, dog, talking about us, like, bro, we old as fuck. You know what I mean? And we doing our thing at the moment, you feel me? But, like, we came from, like, nigga, we was doing this shit for free, talking on fucking, through fucking, people said Campbell's soup cans and shit. You feel me? Right. But, like, when people ask us to do we ever be like, okay, this is, like if they have 8 followers, bro, right? Okay, well maybe I know it's a long shot, but no, it's not a long shot, nigga. Bro, we want to help out the young folks.
But I think similarly when people say, like, look, people say nice stuff to us, and I think all three of us have the same reaction of like, our podcast, like, you know what I mean? Like, what do you mean our podcast meant something to you?
We don't feel, you know what I mean? But it's just like, I don't know.
When people say that to you. And if you are like, and in Draymond's case, when you are like saying that about yourself, that this is the role you want on the team, that comes with a responsibility that's a different moral thing than just being a guy who's like shopping at Target. Like it comes with responsibility. And he sort of, I don't know, he kind of threw that away, in my opinion. We would never do.
Never.
I just said somebody for genuine love for people that are coming up and want them to fucking win. I couldn't imagine looking at somebody. I mean, dude, like I mean, it's mostly family, so it's a different dynamic. You know what I'm saying? But like, my little brother is, probably the difference in size between Draymond and Jordan Poole. You know what I mean? He's done some wild shit, way worse than what And I would never punch that motherfucker in his face. You know, and y'all know what that motherfucker be on sometimes. You feel what I'm saying? And I probably is well in my right to knock that little nigga out at times. You feel what I'm saying? But never, because there's genuine love. And there's people like I told Age one time, bro, I said, bro, you could punch me in my face, I wouldn't fight you. Why would I do that to you? You know what I'm saying? There are certain people that you have love for, you respect for, you ain't gonna do that shit. And I just can imagine, like, I got squabbles with teammates in high school. We were high school. You a grown-ass adult, bro. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see that. I can't. It's hard to respect seeing somebody knock out a motherfucker who is 8 years younger than him for saying some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
saying some shit that you would have said to him, bro.
That he would have said, to do an exact same thing he would have done. You know what I'm saying? And for something he said he respected prior. Because you know what it is? You know what it is. Okay. Well, like, let's show him, you know, like, there's different ways of going about it. And if you're the big homie, you pull him to the side, like, bro, you crossing boundaries, my G. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. If you the big homie, like, bro, you might grab him, like, to show him what, I put my hands on him, you know what I'm saying? Like, to let a nigga know this is what you fucking with. You know what I'm saying? But to straight knock a motherfucker out, that's a different level, dog. You know, I've had big homies put their hands on me when I was younger on some other shit. Like, little nigga. You know what I'm saying? I had some niggas spare me. You feel me? When I was younger talking shit to OGs. You feel what I'm saying? Out hooping and shit. You know what I mean? But that's big homie movement. You know, I'm out here talking my shit and he like, I put their hands on me like, nigga, you know what I'm saying? Hey, this ain't what you want. You right. I don't want that. You feel me? Let's stick to hooping. Right. You feel me? I have some niggas
right.
spare me.
Agree more.
Right. You know what I'm saying? He 32. I'm like 18 out here woofing. Nah, bro. You know what I'm saying? Okay, you right. Cool, but that's big homie shit. There's a way to put a motherfucker into place. A lot of us been there. We out here, and that's what they talking about. You ain't
on
never,
both sides of the dynamic.
Right.
Both sides of the dynamic.
Both sides,
yes,
right? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But we all, you know what I mean. But we talking about you ain't playing competitive sports. No, we have, and we have had motherfuckers put their hands on us, and we calmed the fuck down. Draymond went straight to knocking that nigga out. That ain't how you move, bro. That's not how OGs move. That ain't it, dog. That ain't it. Especially in that situation. You feel me? Like this you ain't unsafe. Poole can't do shit to you. You know what I mean? How you know what I'm saying? What was necessary about that shit? You had to knock the nigga out because he said something you didn't like? That's ain't tough. That's sensitive. That's the opposite of tough. You feel what I'm saying? That's ridiculous. I'm sorry, I'm on one right now, but
no, you used to speaking some real shit. But it's just all the people who say, you know, fights happen all the time. This wasn't a fight, bro. This like Jordan Poole did not want to fight that man. This was bullying on Draymond's part. And for all the people said, you know, this happens all the time. Well, when the fuck? I'm sure fights happen all the time in practices. I'm sure that's the case. But when have we ever seen a fucking team announce that, you know, there was a physical altercation so bad in their practice that, you know, we're going to discipline Draymond and we're going to discipline a player in some way? The Golden State hopped out in front of this before the footage
video
was released.
Right.
That's not normal, dog.
And y'all talking about fights happen all the time. Y'all niggas work desk jobs just like us. We in front of a fucking fights don't happen all the. Quit talking that shit, bro. We regular.
Listen, and if fights happen all the time, and there's a difference between NBA dudes bumping chests, pushing each other.
That's a disagreement. You know what I'm saying? And those happen all the time.
But if those happen all the time,
NBA people don't fight. We see them niggas getting knocked out on Twitch all the goddamn time. Whatever the fuck. You feel me? Come on, man. Nobody fight.
You've got the team's reaction. You have Steph's reaction of wanting to be really clear that he thought it was inappropriate, and then you also have Damian Lillard being asked, like, basically, he was asked, "quote, is it unusual to see a teammate throw a punch?" And he said, yeah, I mean, he said, I think it's become a thing in the NBA where it's like no one's going to do anything. Everyone's always quick to say that someone does something, it's the end of the world. But he said, he's like, I haven't had a situation like that where I, you know, someone like that was just getting socked like that, like out of fucking nowhere. So, you know, and he did also say, he said, hey, but you know, if someone puts his hands on someone and pushes them, you should expect something to happen. Fair enough. But that wasn't what the video showed, in my opinion. So, okay, last thing on this topic to talk about was Draymond's apology press conference. Your guys' thoughts on that?
I thought
was there an apology there?
Right? I thought that 2-minute tirade he went on about, you know, the
you
fucking
called him an
film
old
being
man
released.
yelling at the sky. Tirade.
Yeah, that fucking
Go ahead.
tirade that he went on where he was, shifting blame to the fucking film dude who leaked it or whatever. I thought that was so fucking unnecessary. We weren't there to talk about that, dude. Like, okay, someone asked you a question. All you had to do was say, yeah, it's fucked up, it got out, but I don't want to shift the blame. This was on me. That's all it had to be, bro. This motherfucker went on a fucking 2-minute rant about that shit.
When the majority of the apology is talking about the fact that it was released and not talking about your actions, he said that he was wrong. He admitted that. You know what I'm saying? But like, if I'm apologizing to somebody and then making excuse, like based upon the angle of me knocking him out, it looked bad. You know what I mean? With no audio, it looked bad. These are all excuses. And if I'm if I'm talking to my wife, you know what I'm saying, trying to apologize for something I did, and I'm bringing all the excuses, I'm like, that ain't an apology. Because it's not an apology. When you apologize, you're talking about your actions, and you apologize for that. You know what I'm saying? And you stand up, hey, this is what I did and I was wrong. Apology doesn't come with a bunch of excuses. You know what I'm saying? Not one that seems genuine. And Tyler has mentioned, Draymond's always seemed genuine. And that's what we love about Draymond, is that we go and get the truth and how he really feels. And
I think we got the truth and how he really felt from the press conference, and that's that's what bothered me about it. And he started with the apology, seemed contrite, whatever. But the tirade where he called the videos released bullshit, and he was talking about how much he appreciates the worry, that bothered me less than him pointing out, because he did it a couple times, him pointing out that you can't hear the audio. That to me is the one where it's like, I'm not really buying, like, take sports out of it. This is a politician apologizing right now, right? Am I buying this apology of someone essentially saying you're not really getting the full story of what happened here? I don't buy it. It just doesn't seem. I don't feel that that's a genuine apology if you're hedging it in multiple different directions. That was my takeaway from it.
Wholeheartedly agree. Like I said, just the blame shifting there. Like that wasn't what you were there for, bro. You know what I'm saying? You were there to own your shit, which you did. But like I said, sincerity has never been an issue with Draymond. He has always been sincere. He's always been genuine. He's always been real. The problem with Draymond is you keep fucking up. Like, who cares about how sincere your apologies are if this is repeated behavior on your part? You know what I'm saying? It's been this way since like fucking 2016. It's been this way since, you fucking blew up on KD a couple years later, So And now you're fucking literally trying to take the head off of that franchise's future. Like, bro, who gives a shit about how sincere your apologies are? Stop being a fucking dickhead. Like, can you do that? Can you said yourself the only way to show that your apology is sincere is changed action. I don't think we've seen any changed action from Draymond over the course of the fucking last 6-7 years.
All right.
And it's coming from dudes that like big Draymond fans before all this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, dog, we don't fuck with the Warriors, but we fuck with the players. I love watching Steph Curry play. I love Jordan Poole play. I'd have a jersey if Jordan Poole was on the Warriors. Draymond, we've always talked about Draymond. You know
Draymond's
what I'm saying?
my exact kind of basketball player. You know what I mean?
Saying? Like,
as a
exactly.
sports writer, that's the exact personality that I love the most. And I was so happy. Like, I was physically bothered by all of the like, oh, look at how bad his production is in the playoffs or whatever. When they won that championship, I was happier for Draymond than I was for anyone else. It was like, yeah, defense still matters. You get into the playoffs and that giving a fuck shit still matters. Like, I love all that about basketball. You know what I mean? I love that about Draymond.
He's been to that team, especially, even when the numbers weren't there. But dog, we gonna jump here and not tell the truth. We just ain't never did that, and we ain't gonna do that today.